Welcome back. The controversy of homosexuality and the church is an issue that goes well beyond Reverend Fred Phelps, the infamous American preacher whose son we just heard from. Even many mainstream pastors have rejected and condemned homosexuality, but not my next guest. Immanuel Wier is an assistant pastor at Rainbow Community Church in Vancouver, an evangelical church that openly accepts gay and lesbian congregants. Welcome, Pastor Wier.
Welcome.
Well, you've seen what Reverend Phelps and the Westboro Church say about homosexuality. Mm-hmm. What's your reaction as a man of the cloth?
Well, my first reaction, I must say, was sadness. I was deeply grieved that someone that represents my Lord, whom I know is a God of love, to be spewing such hateful remarks, not just in homosexuality, but in any aspect. I think anyone who claims to be a Christian and a leader, when there's so much hatefulness coming out, I think it's grievous to anyone who is a Christian.
But even beyond Reverend Phelps, who obviously is the extreme radical end of a spectrum, mm-hmm. within the evangelical community, homosexuality really does seem to be a particularly big issue. Why is that? I mean, there are a lot of sins laid out in the Bible. Mm-hmm. Why is it that homosexuality is so focused in on by a lot of people?
You know, that's a very good question. I asked that myself.
Sure.
You know, it's I don't think I could have a single word answer to that. I believe it really stems from personal prejudice, and you can apply homosexuality, blacks 150 years ago, the way the church viewed them, mm-hmm. or women. I believe people like to use religion, and in particularly the Bible, for personal agenda of promoting any kind of hate, rather than the love of God of acceptance of all people.
You are openly gay?
Yes.
Have you ever experienced any of that anger from the evangelical community?
If we were to broaden it, Christians in general,
mm-hmm.
Yes, to some degree, not just evangelical. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think that as Christians and as leaders, people spend too much time on things and subjects like homosexuality, rather than really preaching the grace of God to all people. It's very puzzling for me as a student of the Bible, for someone who loves God, for someone who wants to tell the whole world that God loves them. To see people talk about hate is very perplexing to me. It's very foreign.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, as we just mentioned, there are certainly circles within the evangelical community and other religious communities that do demonize homosexuality. Why is it that you were attracted particularly to the evangelical movement, given that history?
My experience was when I first came to Rainbow Community Church, which is where I serve right now. It was the love.
Did you come there as a congregant originally, or
no? Just as a visitor.
As a visitor.
Yeah, it was when I was returning back, you mm-hmm. might say, to the Lord after having been lost, mm-hmm. And I was amazed at the reception, at the love of the people, of the pastor. I swore when I went in, I was ready to defend myself, actually, and I never had to. And I thought, wow, these people really have the love of God in their walk of life, and it really impressed me. And it really helped my walk to come back to the Lord and to say, hey, you know, we are children of God, and that changed my life quite a bit.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you meant you were lost and you sort of found your way back?
Yes. From when I was in my teens, I had started studying the Bible and belonged to a church, and I've always loved God. I've always had just a heartfelt desire to serve Him. As I came to terms with my own sexuality, it became increasingly harder because my former church preached against homosexuality. Mm-hmm. They weren't hateful as per se, but as many Christian denominations, it wasn't accepted. I tried to fight it, and I couldn't, and I started feeling hypocritical in that, to use a term, to go to the altar of God and pretend I'm someone who I'm not. And I felt bad doing that, and so the struggle became increasingly harder. Then I started going out into the gay community just to be able to feel myself. But then I felt equally bad there because then I felt I couldn't talk about God. Mm-hmm. And so there was this battle with me for many years. And eventually when I came out, I no longer could be part of the church. And so I swore I would not become hateful, and I didn't, but I did become wounded and felt that I had no place serving God. But that's where I wanted to be. And so for many, many years, I just had no faith to speak of. Actually, I kind of swore I would never be a Christian again because of the way Christians have treated people such as homosexuals.
Well, we have to take a quick break, but as a scholar of the Bible, someone who studied it, I'd really like to get your thoughts on the passages within the Bible that do demonize homosexuality. We'll discuss that and more after this quick break.